Ooh, what do I smell?
I don't know, but it smells good.
Do you remember what Phoebe smelled?
What do I smell?
Sorry.
Let's get to it. You don't want to get on Rachel Green's bad side. The prime example was that time Rachel gave Ross a piece of her mind. After reading a book called Be Your Own Windkeeper, she decided to let that man know she wasn't going to be bossed around. If only she had worded it better.
How do you expect me to grow if you won't let me blow?
Unsurprisingly, it took more than one take for Jennifer and David Schwimmer to get through this scene. That's because the pair of goofballs just couldn't keep their minds out of the gutter.
How do you expect me to grow if you won't let me blow?
Pull yourselves together and do that again.
How do you expect me to grow if you won't let me blow?
Remember when Rachel bonded with Ben over pranks and turned him into a miscreant? She had a memorable scene in which she had to convince the little rascal to stop terrorizing his parents.
What have we agreed?
No more pranks.
And what else?
That you and Daddy were not on a break.
It turned out that Jennifer was having so much fun that she couldn't even remember her lines. Fortunately, her young co-star had the script memorized and helped her out.
Okay, now what is my first line?
What did we agree?
Okay.
But Cole always looked forward to working with his co-star. He was rather fond of her, actually.
My favorite cast member to do scenes with is Jennifer, because she's hot.
Of course, some epic fails are to be expected when you're having so much fun. However, Jennifer seemed to fluff her lines during some of the show's more risque moments as well. Remember when Danny DeVito showed up to take his clothes off and dance around for the gals?
You just pay me my $300, I'll be on my way.
$300? Are you kidding?
No, that's okay. Let me just get my checkbook.
Well, it turns out that his sexy routine impressed Jen so much that she offered the actor her paycheck.
My paycheck.
And then I got 300 witnesses. I get Jennifer's paycheck this week.
And Jen couldn't pretend that she didn't offer Danny the money.
And then I got 300 witnesses.
But at least Danny offered to spend it on a romantic getaway for him and Jen.
We're going to Tahiti.
Lisa Kudrow couldn't contain her laughter there either, but that was her friend's experience in a nutshell.
Now you get in there and you do your job. You get
Phoebe caused a lot of headaches for the cast and crew of Joey's TV show when she was brought in as an extra. She insisted on bringing her own quirks to the table, and they didn't go down well. So Joey had to step in and talk her through it. In reality, though, Lisa Kudrow found Matt LeBlanc's pep talks hilarious.
Man with eye patch. Now you get in there and you do your job. You get
As such, it required another take for her to get the giggles out of her system and complete their scenes.
Now you get in there and you do your job. You get
At the end of the day, though, only the final result matters, and Lisa managed to get her serious face on and deliver the goods when it mattered.
Who dies?
Man with eye patch. Now you get in there and you do your job.
Yes, doctor.
While Lisa couldn't stop laughing during the lectures from Matt, she didn't fare much better when she had to give her own. In one season 6 episode, Phoebe tried to convince Rachel to stay with Monica after their apartment burned down. This led to them fighting over who got to stay with Joey.
I don't want to switch, please. Come on, I can throw wet paper towels here.
No, but at Monica's, you can eat cookies over the sink.
I guess it was tough to keep it together with paper towels flying around, which is why Lisa needed a few takes for Phoebe to finish her argument.
Come on, I can throw wet paper towels here.
Well, at Monica's, you can eat... No! I'm sorry, but this is allowed to happen.
Could the second time be the charm?
Well, at Monica's... How is it ever gonna get said?
Lisa also couldn't contain her laughter during some of the more basic scenes either. Then again, some circumstances were beyond her control. During the season 1 episode where Phoebe, Monica, and Rachel had a slumber party, Lisa had to work with a board game with a mind of its own.
Oh, and I brought Operation, but I lost the, it's making a noise.
Maybe the game was just upset that some of its parts were missing.
Oh, and I brought Operation, but I lost the tweezers, so we can't operate.
It seems that Lisa couldn't stop laughing on the set, but that was always going to happen with pranksters like Matt LeBlanc around. His character was the most inappropriate friend of the group, and Matt was just like him. like in this scene where he opened his robe and gave his colleagues a shocking surprise. It remains to be seen what was under Joey's robe in the actual episode, but we can probably hazard a few guesses based on the gang's reaction. They were not impressed. Matt's mischievous antics always went down a treat with his colleagues, but I'm sure he would have preferred a better memory. This brings us to that day on the set where he couldn't remember a simple line for his life.
Haha, look, come on. I don't know what to do. Or say.
Care to give that one another try, Matt?
Haha, very funny. Look, I don't know what to do. You know? Holy crap.
One more time. And go!
Ha, very funny. Look, I don't know what to do. What the hell's the line?
It took a while, but Matt finally made it to the finish line.
Haha, very funny. Look, I don't know what to do. I really want you guys to get along. Just please come to the movie with us.
Whenever Matt wasn't having brain farts, he liked to poke fun at his co-stars. This happened when he and David Schwimmer had to eat a trifle casserole that wasn't going down so well for one of them.
Tastes like feet. I like it.
Joey played it straight during the interaction with Ross, but he was the real comedian behind the scenes. And he used this opportunity to do a Ross impersonation.
Tastes like feet.
David might have been the target of some jokes on the set of Friends, but he also made a fool of himself on occasion. Viewers could always rely on Ross to make them laugh with his adorable awkwardness around women, but this next blooper suggests that David was similar.
But there's a rat problem. Apparently they're attracted to the dryer sheets.
David's fumbles gave everyone a good chuckle, but don't you just want to find out the end of the story about the rats? Here it is!
But there's a rat problem. Apparently they're attracted to the dryer sheets, and you know they're going in fine, but they're coming out all fluffy.
Given that David is such a nice fella, it's also unsurprising to know that his colleagues didn't buy him as a threat.
It's one thing being prepared for an attack against like each other, whole nother story being prepared for like, it's a surprise!
Even though he claimed to have mastered the art of unagi. Ross didn't scare Rachel and Phoebe in the episode either, but at least the actors managed to keep a straight face eventually.
It's one thing being prepared for an attack against like each other, whole nother story being prepared for an attack. I don't know, like, surprise!
Do you recall the moment from earlier on where we talked about how David and Rachel couldn't stop laughing at a naughty innuendo? That wasn't a one-off by any means. David might seem like a sensible guy, but he couldn't keep his act together whenever the show required him to talk about the cheeky stuff.
She uses sex as a weapon.
Fine, thank you for warning me. At breakfast, I'll be on guard for...
And as soon as he'd stopped laughing and was ready to act like a professional again, the silly sausage forgot his lines.
Fine, thank you for... What is it? Thank you.
And she uses sex as a weapon.
Fine.
What's the matter with you, Dave? Let's try that again.
Fine, thank you for warning me. At breakfast, I'll be on full alert for room painting and sex weapons.
If you enjoyed this video, we have plenty of other Friends features for your viewing pleasure. And keep your eyes peeled for part 2 featuring the rest of the gang.